Hi everyone, my name is Jayla Melvin, and here is my vendor list and my shopping list for my library. So for our first category of vendors, which is books, I have chosen three that I think are just a really well-rounded blend of different types of books you could get for your school library. The first one is Epic Books, which is something that I use on a day-to-day basis at my school. It has just so many different ebooks and audiobooks, and I think since technology is really becoming more prevalent, this is a great resource to have. My second one is Scholastic Books. As we all know, Scholastic Books is a huge and expansive website and company. You can get physical books, you can get ebooks on Scholastic Literacy Pro. There are so many different ways you can get books through Scholastic, and I think that it is a great resource also to have. And my third one is Barnes & Noble. I think this one is better for teachers and faculty members rather than students because doing a search through their website, there are just so many different educational books, workbooks, and things like that to help out teachers, librarians, and faculty members at the school. Moving on to furniture, I chose Demco, Uline, and School Specialty. Demco and School Specialty both have a lot of really great educational and library types of furniture. I think School Specialty is a little bit more broad, but Demco has a really large section of school library supplies. And Uline is also just a great website that has lots of different shelving units that I looked at that I think would be great to have for makerspace materials and things of that nature rather than just the bookshelves that we have. Moving on, that's a great segue into makerspace materials. My first one is Amazon. I think Amazon is a very widely used and widely known company to get things for pretty cheap and pretty quickly. But my next one, which I really liked, was the library store. They have a whole section on makerspaces for the school library. There's different kits, many different types. My apologies. Different types of materials there at the library store. My third one is OWI Robots. OWI Robots has a lot of different robotics equipment that is really great for makerspaces, and later on in my shopping list, you'll see one that I chose in particular. For technology tools, I first chose Follett Destiny. I think it's a great library management system that's very widely used. The next one I chose was Overdrive. That is something that I know a lot about with my public library, and through researching on their website, I saw that they have a lot of school library subscriptions as well that make it very helpful for school libraries to have access to a huge array of information and materials. And my last one, which I'm using right now, is Screencastify. I have used this all throughout my career here at UNT, and I think that if we taught students how to use it, it would make presentations just that much more engaging for students and for teachers alike. So I would love to have that as a widely used resource in my library. And lastly, for supplies and decor, my first one I chose was Oriental Trading Company. They have a lot of really cute materials for the school library and just the school wide. I also chose Tidal Wave. They had a lot of school library specific supplies, such as scanners and a lot of other computer stuff. And my last one was BroDart, which is another school library based website that had a lot of supplies. So moving on to my list that I have made with my $10,000. The first item that I have chosen is an Epic Book subscription. Like I said, I use this one a lot. It is $200 per year for the school, which I think is not bad at all. My justification is that Epic Books has over 40,000 books available online for students to read. I believe having access to ebooks and audiobooks at the touch of their fingers will benefit every student in the school greatly and give them access to resources while in the classroom, at home, and more. I think one problem with the library books is that it really limits when students can access them. But with Epic, they can just log in with their school account and they can have access to that anywhere And I think it's very useful for teachers too to have a wider variety of read aloud options for class. My next item that I chose was from Demco, and it is a part of the furniture section. So I chose these preteen wobble stools, which I have seen before, but only like a couple in a classroom. I thought that a set of 25 for the library would be hugely beneficial for this scene. As a place to get away from the norm of the classroom, I want my library to be comfortable for all students, not just a couple students, but all students. With a set of these stools, I can allow every student to be as comfortable as they want or need to be while our lesson or makerspace is going on, which I think is really a great thing to have for students, and that they will be able to be comfortable and not focused on, just sitting down like they have to do all day during class. And these were $96.99 per stool. And that comes to a total of $2,424.75. So my next item is a makerspace item from the OWI Kit website. It is a set of 10 robotic arm edge wireless. I believe that a lot of school libraries do lack the makerspace materials to properly engage students, whether that is from funding or knowledge. I think this robotic arm seems to be easy and simple to use and has many educational activities that can be done. This website also has a lot of resources such as CDs that actually take you through a lesson plan to use with these robotic arms. So I think this would be a great way to start with robotics for our younger kids who haven't really had a lot of access to those. So keeping on with the makerspace idea, my next item is the Botley 2.0, the Coding Robot Classroom Bundle set of 2 from the vendor, the library store. Also, those robotic arms were $51.95 each, coming to a total of $519.50. But for these Coding Robot Classroom bundles, they're $322.95 each, coming to a total of $645.90. This is a great coding kit to use in the library, as well as another for classroom use or travel. Coding is becoming an essential part of elementary, middle, and high school education, and this kit is a great way to start teaching it. I think it would be very useful to have 2 of these in the school, based and housed in the library, and they can be checked out if needed from teachers and also used within the library for makerspace lessons. My next is a subscription service. This is Overdrive School Download Library. It is $4,000 per year. The Overdrive Advantage lets a school library have access to many digital resources for grades K through 12, and it can actually specify which grade you're looking for resources for, and it has a vast and unique collection. This will benefit not only students but also teachers. Having access to the software will allow anyone within the school to complete research and reading very quickly and very thoroughly by having a huge vetted resource network of resources, papers, articles, books, any other supplies like that. My next item is from Tidal Wave. It is the Destiny Quick Scan Kit for the school library. I would say at most school libraries I have seen, the librarian does teach the students how to scan books for checkout. I believe that an upgrade to a wireless handheld scanner is in store to make this process easier and more accessible to students who are checking out their own materials while the librarian is otherwise occupied. This kit seems to have it all. It's Bluetooth, it's always charging on this little pedestal that it has, and it would be really easy for students to learn how to use. And it's $519. And my last item is a ready-to-go 300-book classroom library for grade 8 from Scholastic for $1,575. One thing that I've noticed in some primary grade libraries is the lack of more challenging or thought-provoking books for our upper students. I think that extending lessons for students with higher reading levels in the upper grades is very important. Therefore, the Scholastic Book Bundle for grade 8 will provide that while still having a large variation of material for students looking for something on a higher level while still in their own school library. My school library goes through grade 6. I know some go through only 4 or 5, but for those students who need kind of a higher level thinking, I think it would be really beneficial to have a kit of grade 7 or grade 8 books available for them to check out. And these big bundles from Scholastic have fiction, nonfiction, poetry. They just have a huge, vast array of books. So my total for all of this comes very close to $10,000. It came out to $9,884.15. Thank you so much.